And we are back from Miami, back to work, back to business. Welcome to another episode of the Inner Circle Podcast. I am your host, Charlie, with my best girlfriend, Melanie. How's everyone?
Hello there.
Woo! Woo! Welcome back. Welcome back. How are you? We was catching up a little before the show. How are you doing? We are back from Miami for the people who don't know. We are both you're drinking Gatorade, I'm drinking water. And for the people who don't know, usually I have a coffee, but no, we need water. and,
We need electrolytes.
and Palo Santo and Jesus and everything after Miami. How are you? How are you? How are you feeling?
So when I came back from Miami, I mean Miami was great, but like right now, as of yesterday, I feel I diagnosed myself. I got food poisoning and self-made food poisoning. And yesterday was terrible for me. I literally was desecrating. What is it like? I was spitting
Projectile vomiting.
projectile vomiting and literally front and back. TMI.
What's the
Sorry,
word for that? I
but
forgot.
I'm feeling much better. My stomach still feels like super sour, and I've been working from home. But yo, so food poisoning is no fucking joke, especially when it just like happens out of nowhere. And yeah, so I've been drinking lots of Gatorade. At least I didn't get food poisoning while we were on vacation, because that would fucking suck. That would have been terrible. Like, I already went through hell and back in Puerto Rico being sick. Like, this vacation was amazing. And I'm glad that, like, I had a great time. But, that's why I'm not even, like, tripping over being sick, because at least I'm sick in the comfort of my own home.
Yeah, that's very true.
How's your week been?
How coming back from Miami, it was basically catch up resting because as I've been saying in the last few weeks, if you have been listening to the podcast, and I've been inching near to going back to life, back to reality. And it all starts tomorrow.
Yeah.
Summer's not officially over till like the 21st, I believe, but officially, but for most of us, and including myself, summer's over as we know it because my time is up. My time off is up. I go back to work tomorrow, and so just coming back from Miami Monday night, I had 2 days buffer to kind of like rest. Thank God for the most part. Before I travel, I like to clean my place because
Yeah, I'm saying.
come back and then you don't have to like worry about cleaning and doing so much stuff or whatever. So I relaxed yesterday. Today I made sure to kind of like honor myself and do little small things. It doesn't have to be grandiose. I told myself, you know what, on my last day of freedom, I went to the gym in the city. I went to one of my new favorite eating spots, taco spots, birria. Um, what else? I sat by the ocean for a little bit. I bought, a face mask, a new candle. I put on a face mask before the show with the candle on. Just little things. Because sometimes, when I say self care, take care of yourself, treat yourself. It could be the little, smallest, mundane things. Go out and buy your favorite candle. Go and take yourself to your favorite lunch spot. So that's what I did today. Before I return to the madness tomorrow, but. It's bittersweet, but I'm excited also to go to return and
I
do.
need you to come back to work. I've been working hell. I never got a break. You have been ripping and running the streets. It's enough.
I know. I have to say I'm lucky and blessed in that sense. And I was thinking about it today. I'm like, you know what? Working what I'm working right now is not maybe too bad. Like that is, it's it's kind of cool to be paid. Although, yeah, you're in what's the word I've been using? It's a certain payment. It's not the payment you make during the year, so you kind of have to budget and stuff, but or save throughout the school year. Um, but to be off and get paid, that's a lot of people wish that. I got told that a lot. Different places I traveled to and everything. A lot of people was like, "Oh, you're lucky." or like I
Do you
wish.
think that you ended your summer in the way that you wanted to, like with the traveling and stuff?
Let's talk about Miami. So
Mm.
in general, I had a great summer. I had a great time, and I always say this: no matter what, with my travels, I've gone on. I've traveled plenty where it doesn't always go according to plan. There's always wrenches thrown into the mix. There's plans change or whatever the case may be. But I've always been the one, and I've said this before on the show and out of the show, and I'll say it again. I always make the best out of my vacation. I could always leave, not like, oh, I hated that vacation or it sucked. I didn't. You know what I mean? For example, Miami. Um, One thing Miami taught me is
Ask questions.
ask questions, and also sometimes listen.
Get confirmation of things.
I'm someone who's about resources, and if you could cut some corners and save and not be extra extravagant, do so. But pick and choose when you do it. That's
Mm.
what it taught me. That's what definitely this trip taught me. Pick and choose when you want to be resourceful and save, because sometimes even when you think you're saving and being resourceful, you're being depleted in other ways. And in my
My
case,
mom has
sleep.
this expression that in Spanish it says "lo barato sale caro," and
I've
it's
heard that before.
lo barato sale caro. Basically, what's cheap will cost you.
Hmm. And in my case, I will say, for example, sleep. Listen, I'm a thankful person, and a shout out to you know my friend who I stayed with and stuff. But ask questions, especially if ask questions, especially living quarters, how many rooms, etc. And also, if you have a homie, a friend, or family members that just have an in and out, they're popular, they have a lot of guests coming and stuff. Throughout, it could be tricky. It could be tricky.
My
Uh,
thing, my thing is this, and I know you can't really, you don't want to put all your business out there. For
yeah.
me, there are a lot of do's and don'ts when it comes to like traveling and going on vacation and stuff. I have my So obviously we went to Miami, but I was in Miami on a, can I say vacation? Like I was with my
You
I
were
was
with
with I
we
was
can
with
find
my boo, and I was with my honey bunny, and also we basically strategized, we planned where we were gonna go, where we were gonna stay. We didn't put too much emphasis and thought because we didn't want it to be like an itinerary, but like we threw out ideas out there. Now, when it comes to the stay, I think that that's first and foremost most important. You can plan wherever you want to go later on at some point because I like plans change, but your most focal and like your most important thing is to choose where you're going to stay, where you're going to lay your head at. For me, staying at the hotel I stayed at, and I'll give it a shout out, the Esme Miami Beach was one of the best places I've ever stayed in a while. I will say it's a boutique hotel, so it's very small. The rooms are small. If you don't have an issue with a small room, then it's fine. But it was the service, the location, the cleanliness was 10 out of 10. But when I vacation, I don't like staying with friends, family. I don't even visit family when I go to DR. Um, I'm not about that life because I don't want to be one at anyone's beck and call, and two, I don't want to be programming myself to sleep when they're sleeping, to be up when they're up. It's not fair to me, and it's not vacation. It's not relaxing.
Yeah. For you, funny enough, you went into it wanting an R&R. Even before we decided on Miami, your point, you said that you want what comes after Puerto Rico, because Puerto Rico's go, 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 that you definitely wanted to just relax. Even a staycation, going to, staycation will be more in your state, but like staycation in the case of like,
I wanted rest and relaxation.
you go to a hotel, you stay, and that's what you got. With me, I never went into it, even when I was planning it, even when I didn't know if we would go together and pick a place together and stuff. I didn't think like, oh, I want it to be R exactly, but I also didn't want it to be like Team No Sleep either. I
There's,
didn't
I'm
either.
not at that age anymore where I can't afford,
Yeah,
where I could afford to not sleep and not have my rest,
and
because
that's what,
yeah, it makes you irritable. It makes you not want to. You're not gonna enjoy yourself,
yeah,
especially in the heat.
that part too. And again, that's another thing. At my grown age, it's like, yeah, no, this ain't it. This ain't it. Maybe if there's more than one bedroom. Listen, we've gone to guest house. We've stayed at our friend my friend's our friend Tim. But that was a home. That was a home
We got a whole home, baby.
with multiple rooms. Shout out to Tim. That was a so our privacy. I could sleep, and if Melanie wanted to turn up, she could. If I wanted to turn up, and we could sleep. So that is different. So it's you live and you learn. You live and you learn. Again, I'm thankful. I don't want people to be like, damn, well, he's just dogging out, blah blah. Like it's just you live and you learn. Especially again, y'all. I don't know the age
I
groups that
think
listen to us,
just
but
going forward, you need to ask the right questions. You can't just assume that, like, just because someone's inviting you to stay over their house or to come over, that you're going to be comfortable, because your definition of comfort is not someone else's
yeah,
definition.
absolutely, absolutely. And I came back to sage myself down, down. The way I sage myself and the way I sage my home, because you could carry things with you. Yeah, I sage myself down.
Oh, when I came back, I got back earlier than you. I got home well
You got me like
before.
9 in the morning.
No, my landed at 9:30, but I got home before noon. I am the type of person, I want everything to go back to a scheduled program. I was telling my honey about this. Like, I like to take out my maleta, clean it up with Clorox wipes, and basically start unpacking everything, throwing everything in the laundry, and putting all my products and everything away. Like, I need some sort of normalcy. I don't understand how people, no disrespect, I don't understand how people take days, even weeks, to like unpack. That is crazy to me.
Yeah, yeah,
God bless. Couldn't be me.
yeah. No, I have to unpack pretty quick too. If not the same day, because sometimes a lot of times, sometimes I come in pretty late from a flight, or a vacation. So obviously, I'm gonna unpack that same night, depending on what time I'm
I've
coming.
done it.
But usually, the very next day, if it is that case, I'm unpacking. Yeah, I can't leave my clothes just there sitting for days. But all in all, Miami, it was cute to be there.
It was nice. Like I said, I haven't been there in 16 years. For me, it was very different. It looked different. I think I was having this conversation with my coworker. When you're younger, things look like you don't have this like allure of everything around you. I remember when I was younger, when we would go to the for New Year's with my family, we would go to the Clevelander in Ocean Drive. And I remember when we went to Palace and I was heading back to my hotel, we drove past the Clevelander and I was like, this is the Clevelander? This looks so like it's not even lit up. It's not even like glamorous like it used to be. I don't know. I just didn't get the vibe that Miami was the same.
Mm.
It was just so, I don't want to say run down. It wasn't run down. It was just very different. It was more dim than I remember it being.
Maybe the riz of it all has faded a little bit. It's not like before. Maybe for me, it was it was cool to be back after like 5 years.
Yeah.
Obviously, with me being around, the community and going out and meeting people in the community, it just opened my eyes. Like, wow,
People do shit for appearances.
Miami. Oh, yeah, Miami is very, especially. I don't want to judge it. I don't want the gays to come after me. But it's just I feel from what I seen, is just very. I don't know. I don't know. I was very surprised by what I seen and what I was somewhat around of, like the scene and the party scene and how deep into the party scene some people are, and the drug use. I'm just gonna go out and say, I'm not gonna mince it. Like, it's a real deal. Like, the drug use, it's crazy, and the type of people that are in it, you're surprised because it's like, but
Mm.
I said you're like a professor of this, and and beautiful men too. So it's like, outside looking at it, it's just like I was dumbfounded. And I mean, we live in New York. New York, I've seen it, but there's something about being that, I don't know. There's something that just hit different for me. Um, just
Yeah.
observing this past weekend, and I don't know. It was a little disturbing. I'm not even being dramatic when I say the word disturbing, but for someone who's been around a lot and seen a lot, I don't know. It was, I maybe because I'm growing. I don't know. It just felt a little disturbing of some things I seen. And I was like, wow. And all I could do straight up, again, sounds dramatic, but I prayed. I prayed because I was like, this is crazy.
You
Like,
know, this is the second time I feel like when people ask me why do I like New York, New York is always going to have its issues. It's always going to have its crazy people. It's always going to have its hustle and bustle. But some people have their shit together a little bit more than other places in other cities. And as far as Miami goes, I feel like a lot of people over there, it's all about apariencias
oh
and
yeah,
trying to keep up with the Joneses type shit. And it seems like, you know what word comes to mind when I think of Miami? And this is really sad to say, corruption.
with me, fake ballers. Like, even with the cars, the fancy cars and stuff, it's like, listen, it's cute to go on vacation and do things like activities and all that stuff, but it's always. I mean, if you're into cars, I've never been into cars, so maybe I can't talk. Maybe someone who's into cars, their little activity is renting a Lamborghini and driving around Miami, Ocean Drive, or whatever, acting like, it's their car. I don't know, but that to me is stunting. It's stunting. It's like, you want to rent a car for the weekend or for the day, something that you can't normally afford on your day-to-day life. Why? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm being judgmental. Let people do what they want with their own money. I don't know. But to me, it's like, it's fake ball. It's fake baller energy.
Yeah, it's not. It's like, it's crazy because I remember it being very about appearances and like very,
Yeah.
what's that word? Fuck, I forgot it. But it's like, um, with Miami, I feel like when people want to act like they have more than they do, they go to Miami. I don't know, it's just weird. And also, it's starting to give. Listen, I had a great vacation. I would go back to Miami. Don't get me wrong. However, I don't feel like there's a lot of fun things to do out there besides like eat good food
And go out at night.
and go out to like clubs and stuff. And like, that's not my vibe.
Yeah. Yeah. And even the beach, like the beach itself, like,
We went to the beach, and like while the beach was nice, I'm more of a pool person, so I would take my ass every morning to go to the pool. It's like
yeah.
people, granted, there's tourists there, but also the level of ratchetness that was at the pool and like, or not pool, at the beach. I don't want no parts. I really don't. I need something like it. I need White Lotus vibes. The one thing I will say, food wise, everything was amazing. I really did enjoy like the restaurants we went to. Um, it's becoming Vegas with the whole service charge and the tipping.
Yeah. I was talking
The whole like hiding it with like different innuendo words.
different
I
words.
remember. So we went was it our last dinner? Correct me if I'm wrong. But our last dinner we went to a Japanese spot, and he asked, is the service tip, or is the service thing considered gratuity as a tip? The lady, like, she had like a freaking answer, like it was a diplomatic answer, but she was like, yeah, it's for all of us, like we have to share it. So basically telling you, yes, it's tip, but we have to share it at the end of the day. So like kind of making you feel bad where you have to pay, like
Bullshit.
you have to do an additional tip so it goes directly to her. So I tipped her because she had great service. I'm not gonna lie, she was very servicial. But
No, I'm sorry. They basically now listen. Everything's going up. Everything's going up, and they're marking everything up for their own reason, tax, whatever,
yeah,
whatever. But so now, the more things go up, that means the higher your
the
bill, which
service.
is the higher your tip. So they're getting their tip. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Unless you're doing something extraordinary nice, unless there's a vibe, unless I think maybe you're hot, and it's like, oh, let me give it over. He's hot and he's doing his
Fuck
job.
that. You, if you service me the right way, you give me like attention, you come back and freaking fill my water, and I don't have to be asking you for water refills. Then yeah, you'll get a tip. But
But
one,
that's the tip is already there. They're doing their job and their tip is already there. I'm not giving you extra. I'm sorry.
there was one place that I was like, no, we're not tipping extra because the waiter was weird. His vibe was very like kind of rush, like kind of standoffish and kind of rushed us. And it's crazy because it was this one place was the place that he wanted to go the most. What was it? I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna say I don't give a fuck. Puerto Sagua. I didn't. The food was okay, but the vibe was not it.
Well, we've been wanting to go to Miami Fall. We've spoken about it for years. How we haven't been. We finally made it happen. We scratched our itch and on to the next one. But moving on from summer to summer. Well, actually, really quick. Cardi B, real quick, before we move on to summer songs. Cardi B, I don't know if you've been following up. She was found not guilty yesterday of the lawsuit of over $20
Yeah.
million at some security guard back in 2020, 2021, something like that. Tried to sue her for because of an altercation when Cardi B went for a doctor's appointment when she was pregnant from her first child, actually. Funny enough. So she won that. Outside of the courtroom, though, Cardi has anger issues. Let me just put it like that. She does have anger issues. When she left the courtroom yesterday, a male reporter to be exact, asked her if she was pregnant, which she threw
He
a
didn't say that. He said, "Is it true that Offset got you pregnant for the fourth time?" The
yeah.
way that is disrespectful as fuck.
Yeah, and I agree. It's true what she said. Why there's no other female reporters asking me that? Like, your mama taught you better. Da, da, da. And it's true. Growing up, listen. Since I was a kid, I don't know where manners and ethics and stuff have gone nowadays. But since I was a kid, I remember it's rude to ask a woman for a woman her age, like someone older than you as a kid. You don't ask a woman their age, and also you don't ask a woman if they're pregnant.
Or
Like,
you don't even congratulate assuming that she's pregnant.
like I was taught that since I was little. No, you don't do that. And like you heard the grown-ups say between amongst themselves, they teach the children, they taught us children. So, it's true. It's true what she said. Like, don't you have no manners? You're taught that. And it's true because I was taught that as a kid. So,
Yeah.
but all in all, Cardi won. That was definitely
That was a stupid ass. Like
a
everyone,
taste, right? that was
that was a stupid lawsuit. And honestly, like at the end of the day, I'm glad she won. But did you hear her her like last her message or whatever? Like she did like an interview outside in the
Yeah.
courthouse. I'm glad she said that because it's crazy. Like the way that these people are getting away with suing celebrities and thinking that people are gonna settle out of court just to make it go away. No, that's bullshit.
Yeah. Really quick before we move on, I do want to say because Melanie was first-hand witness while we were in Miami. We were out, and I bumped into someone I've seen on social media, or we follow
Oh
each
my
other
god.
for years on social media. Do you? I mean, do you want me to say it? Do you want to say
I'll say it.
it?
So we encountered a fan in the wild, and I was just
He said that.
we went to Palace, and we saw. Well, I didn't see. I was not thinking. I didn't know who this person was, but Charlie recognized a mutual, a social media mutual friend that he has, and they said exchange hellos and stuff. He introduced me, and his friend goes to say, "Oh, I've been following you for a long time. I'm such a big fan." To where I turned to the invisible camera and I said, "Oh hell no," because this is crazy to me how everyone all of a sudden has fans. I hate that word. Like, I don't like saying I'm a fan of anything. Like,
I told y'all it's not me.
relation.
It's not me. It's not me. It's not me. And I was so I'm like when it happened to Melanie turns to
Yeah,
the
I
video,
looked and I was like, fan?
and
Wow.
I'm like, told you it's not me. I'm not fucking saying it's like it's people. Listen, but I thought that was funny. I just wanted to mention that real quick. But speaking, transitioning from
Well, you know what? I want to say that you are influencing people to use that word, because my my boo was like, I said, "Who's this person liking your pictures or like commenting on your picture that I took of you in poolside?" His response was, "They're just fans."
oh god, look what we done started. But
Right.
we just got back from Miami, which was bringing the heat. We just spoke about Cardi B, who had a song that she dropped at the top of the summer called "Outside." So now that we are like basically unofficially done with summer, what would you say? I have to ask this question in two different ways because I truly feel, for especially for us as millennials, like songs of the summer has gone away. Like I don't really feel like nowadays, especially these last few years, and even this year, where we have like what we had back in the day, like summer hits, like songs that stuck, songs that like became iconic. You know, those summer songs that become iconic. Um, I don't think we have that so much as of late. But what would you say for you were your summer songs of 2025?
That's a good question. I have to look because I
Well,
feel like
I'll start while you look and think. For me, songs that I found myself like playing a lot and came out, in June, July, throughout summer. For sure, Karol G had, her album I really enjoyed. I still listen to her album, but a song from that album that I listened to a lot, Bandida. I have to look at it because it's like Brazilian. Um, Bandida Entrenada. That's one. I definitely think Bad Bunny's Nueva York is also
that does not count because the video came out this summer, but the actual song was released with the album in January.
in January, but the single officially came out this summer. So it was a summer push. So I feel like it's a song of the summer. It's kind of like when
I stand corrected. I will say Nokia from Drake. That, I mean, everybody and their mom fucking, that song is in everyone's fucking head. I was gonna say Sabrina Carpenter.
Funny enough, you mentioned Sabrina Carpenter because I just had a thought about her, just like with Taylor Swift, because I'm excited about September and like starting next week, there's like different artists that I like dropping new albums. So I'm excited for like September, each week in September, because this at least an artist or two dropping new music, and I'm interested in those albums. And then in October, Taylor Swift drops hers. So I thought each week, and then when it got to October, I'm like, that's one album that I'm not looking for, that I don't even care. And then the thought of Sabrina Carpenter came. Sabrina Carpenter is just like Taylor Swift, I feel, in my opinion, where their music sounds the same. Like there's nothing like their music is just so generic, basic, nothing like it's just like wordsy, tongue in cheek innuendos, but there's nothing really. I don't know. Their music sounds the same. Taylor Swift and Sabrina Carpenter are right in that box for me.
Taylor Swift is like the older version, but like the more demure version, I guess.
But for me, as you keep looking, Tate McRae, Just Keep Watching is
I was
also
literally gonna say Tate McRae, but I like Sports Car.
summer song for me. Cardi B, Outside, because God knows I was outside more this summer, and I was.
You hear her new snippet? It's called Bodega Baddie or something like that.
Oh, Cardi B.
Yeah, and she samples this like Dominican merengue song. It's really good.
No. I have to listen.
For me, I feel like the songs that I like are all reggaeton. I've been on a reggaeton kick all summer.
Uh, well, you'll be surprised by this one. Santana, Bad to the Bone. I don't even listen to Santana
Oh
like
my
Bad
god,
to the Bone. Listen, that's been stuck.
that
Two more.
sounds
Demi Lovato Fast. I really, really like that song. And Kesha Boy Crazy. And I even like them more when the remix with Jade came out. So those are some of my top summer
I'm
25 songs.
back. That's the bound.
Yeah. So but overall, it was a good summer. It was a good summer. Now, speaking of Santana, oh, actually, no. Before we get into this topic, we have to play a game, especially since you said you were listening to reggaeton. A few weeks ago, we played a new game, your favorite from your favorite. That category was R&B, where we went down a list of R&B artists, and we basically said, each of us gave our favorite songs from that artist. But now this week we're doing reggaeton. So, do you want to go first, or actually no? We're gonna go down the list of the artists, and then we're gonna give our thing. So, first one, Tego Calderon. Your favorite from him?
That is so hard. Tego Calderon is my favorite reggaeton artist. My favorite song, Pa que Retosen, is number one. Dominicana is number two. Wait, how many can I say?
It's your favorite, just one.
Pa que Retosen.
Yeah, same.
There's so many good ones though.
What about old school? If you know, you know. And I remember this guy from Puerto Rico when I was little. Vico C. For me, it's Boom Boom.
I like that one too. Boom Boom is good, but I don't really listen to him like that.
No, I figured you did. Yeah, you did it.
I know who he was, but
Daddy Yankee.
Mami, pon la olla que aquí está tu caldo. That's my first song. Que aquí está tu caldo. Yeah. Gasolina.
He has a few. He has a lot of cool songs, especially I feel like he came out and a lot of his songs was out as me starting to go to the club at 18, 19 and stuff. But Impacto is
with Fergie. That was such
and then the remix with Fergie, yeah.
And she took shots at somebody in that song. Nelly Furtado.
Yes, at Nelly Furtado, yep. Next, Raúl Alejandro. This was hard for me, but I chose Química.
No, my favorite is damn, it's a song with Chencho. Hold on, because it's gonna kill me if I don't fucking remember. Wait, I have Desesperados.
Oh, I like that song too, yeah. Nicky Jam.
Nicky Jam, Yo no soy tu marido, ni tampoco tu hombre. That's my song.
For me, it's X.
Oh yeah, I mean, he used to have a lot of good songs.
He used to, yeah, for a little bit. Like pegado Nicky Jam, and then it maybe that's when he started becoming a Trumpy. That his stuff.
Yeah,
number 6, Wisin and Yandel.
Me?
De sexo.
That's mostly like Aventura and Romeo or whatever. But
features.
My favorite, I love Pam Pam. That's a good song. Saoko, that's my favorite song. Saoko. And Gitana. Damn, Saoko. I'll go with Saoko.
Bad Bunny. This is hard because he has so many albums, so much music. Even like his earlier stuff before his first album, he has a lot. So this, I literally have the like other artists written, and for him, I didn't even write because I don't know. It's hard.
La Romana. I feel like I can listen to that song from him. And I remember when it first came out, I was in DR. So yeah, La Romana is such a good song.
I don't even know. I can't even pick.
I wouldn't say anything from this recent album. I would say like something. Think of something from the past album. Something.
No, not from this album. I don't know. I want to say I love it's so many, but maybe.
I love too.
I think Titi Me Preguntó. Maybe I would say Titi Me Preguntó just because it's hard. For now, maybe it will change. But Titi Me Preguntó. Joel y Randy. Bonita for me.
Se acabó la cuarentena. Does Zafaera count? Even though, like,
No, that's Bad Bunny song.
no, I guess I don't know. I would say it's Cuarentena. That song is cute.
Evie Queen. Para mí es Cuéntale.
No,
Cuéntale.
quiero bailar.
Yo quiero
Hands down.
bailar. Yo quiero bailar. Zion y Lennox.
I love Zion y Lennox. Me pones en tensión. I love that song. I listen to that song on repeat.
Mine is Bandida, I think. Bandida, yeah.
Yeah. Also, Hay algo en ti. What's the song that goes? Hay algo en ti, nena, que me lleva la locura. I forgot. Anyway,
Yeah,
I love it.
I'm not that much. I've listened to them because they're like featured a lot of other artist songs I listen to, but I don't listen to
Now,
them.
if you said just Zion, I like Zoom Data. That's my shit.
And last, Jaiko. For me is
Jaco, not Jaco.
who was arrested recently.
He was in Bad Bunny's show. He performed. Jaco, he has the song No la mire que ella está en la de ella, something like that. I love that song.
Mine is No Me Conoce because obviously it features
That's a great song too.
it features Bad Bunny and J Balvin. That's a great song. That was a 2019 song. Like that shit got played. That was a summer song. That was like one of the summer songs of 2019. But there goes your favorites. Now speaking of Santana that we was talking about a little earlier, in regards to in his song Back to the Bone, I was listening to an interview with him and Carlos King. And then they were talking about, him, just a bunch of stuff, and basically dating and how he feels like, back then a lot of people said no facts, no femmes, etc. And in the gay community, like Carlos King, I obviously is older Santana's from a younger generation. As I was listening, I could like relate to this conversation. I think this is a conversation I would actually like to have also with a bigger panel and more obviously fellow LGBT people to get their perspective. But I kind of want to touch about it a little bit because they touched on the things like I don't know if you've ever been around any gays that like, oh no, I don't want to date him, he's too feminine or thing. I know to me, you've told me or introduced me to certain things, and I know I could admit it that I'm like, no, not my type to, But then in the same sense, I think I've dated people where you and even other people have said, oh, they're feminine or they're a little feminine. And I see what y'all mean, but I don't see the overtly. So it's interesting. How do you feel, as a supporter of the gays, how do you feel about us within our own community when we, like, no, I don't want no fats. No, I don't want no femmes.
I think for me, as an outsider looking in, and being that I have a lot of friends in the LGBT community, I feel like you guys are very prejudiced within each other.
Mm-hmm.
You guys, I think saying marginalized is a stretch, but I feel like the LGBT plus community has had to fight and is still fighting for their rights. And like, I just find it so strange that instead of like uniting and like being like, these are my brothers, these are my sisters, whatever, there are gays within the community that don't like lesbians, or there are lesbians that don't like trans, or they don't like the fluid ones, or they think bisexual people are greedy. I've never understood that because it's like you guys are walking the same path. You guys are still seen as outsiders. So the fact that you guys judge each other rather than unite doesn't make sense. Not everyone's the same, but when it comes to appearances, I've never met anyone that is as harsh and judgmental when it comes to appearances and dating or like hooking up than gay men.
I also think when it something that I had a word for it. Something that contributes to this whole no, especially the no fem part, is it's back to when we're kids. Growing up,
Mm,
obviously if you were feminine, you as a kid, you're being bullied in school. You even have your own parents saying, "Stop acting like a girl," or "You're being too much of a sissy." That as a little kid, and even listening to other podcasters or meeting other gay men and having those conversations throughout the many years I've been on this earth, that affects different people in different ways. As
yeah.
think about yourself as a little kid and someone's telling you you're acting like a girl. Stop acting like a girl. Your own
Hmm.
family member, your own mom, your own dad, your own
Yeah.
siblings making fun of you. And this is not my case, necessarily, but this is a lot of people have gone through that. And yes, in some instances for me growing up, I can admit this. There was instances, as a little kid, I didn't want maybe the Hot Wheel toy at McDonald's. I wanted to play with the Barbie. And I remember my dad saying things like to my mom, like, "Oh, he's gonna be gay or he's gonna be a girl," because she will like get it for me or whatever. So, it's little things like that when you hear as a kid, it does affect you. So I'm sure a lot of other people have gone through that. So
Mhm.
let's now speed up as you're growing up. There's some people that feel that maybe they have to like butch it up. In my case, like I don't know. Like I know I had little ways that gave away as a kid, and then as I grew up, I don't. In my head, and I've been told this too by family members and stuff like that maybe didn't accept me before, and then they say things like, "At least you're not girly," or "At least you're not out there looking
Right.
like a girl." And listen, I've never wanted to be a girl. I'm a guy who likes guys, yes. But do I want to paint myself and think no?
I
That's
think
not.
there's a big stigma around feminine gay men because
Yes,
they live loudly. They're more out there. Um, they don't have like a not a mask per se, but they don't like
they're
conceal.
freer.
Yeah,
They're freer.
and I know I have said to you like when I think of a partner for you, I see someone who's a little bit on the trade side, someone a little bit more masculine.
And that's my preference. I think
And
we
the
all
reason
have
why I say that is because I know what your preference is, and I also know what has worked with you in the past. But to each his own. You have explored different types of people,
mm,
and wherever that may go, at the end of the day, you have my blessing. However, I do think that the whole I'm gonna go work out, I like need to keep my body in shape and stuff like that. Do that because you're actually into fitness. Don't do it because you're bullied and stigma, like have this stigma of like, if I'm fat and I'm a gay man, no one's gonna give me this time of day, because it does happen a lot. I've had friends that are gay or bisexual and they're overweight, or they're not as you know
aesthetically pleasing.
aesthetically pleasing as like the next person, and they get rejected, but they have a kind soul or they have great personalities and they're not fucking like wet blankets.
Yeah. Um, One of the things too is that I feel in turn, like it's for me also is I didn't, and I'm being honest about this. I feel like being with someone that's a little more feminine in the streets with them as a boyfriend. Listen, I have best friends who are like done drag and are feminine and like, "Hey girl, hey," and all that, and it's like,
It calls attention.
but no, it's not even about content. It's like I love them, but for me, I think throughout the years right before the paranoia was like if I was walking hand in hand with someone who was a little more feminine, that maybe we would be more of a target or people would judge more versus. And this sounds bad, but this is my experience, and I guess I've
That's what I
learned.
mean, that it calls attention and it causes people to feel uncomfortable too. Like,
But with me, I feel more comfortable walking with someone who's not that feminine or regular or very masculine because how do I put it? like I just feel more comfortable in that sense. Like, and you know, I'm surprised even at work and other places where people tell me or find out that I am gay. And it's like, oh, I didn't know. And I'm like, wow. Like, I sometimes think it's just things I may do, or mannerisms, or my quick wit that people will know I'm gay. But surprisingly, people still be surprised that I'm gay or tell me that, oh, I wouldn't have known but this and that. I'm like, really? Especially, I guess, in the workplace, I get this. But I'm like, really? Because I don't feel like I'm like this masculine macho guy either.
But my whole situation, well, my whole idea of like a person being gay, it's a sexual orientation. I don't see it as like a feeling, uh, a mannerism. I don't see it as like a way that a person should act.
You're right.
Granted, there are people that focus, like, are super laser focused on like seeing how other people behave and their traits and stuff, and then they'll be like, "Oh, he's gay. I knew he was gay because of the way he switched." I've said that before. I have a good gaydar, honey. Like, I can like to have a conversation with someone or even have like a glance at them, and I will kind of sort of know. But for me, it's not a matter of like, oh, in order for you to say that you're gay, you have to act a certain way.
Yeah.
Granted, a lot of people think that way, which is really fucking sad because at the end of the day, it's an orientation. It's not like you
And
have.
you hit it right, and I love that you hit it right on. You said that as an orientation. It's a good way to end it right now, but this is definitely a conversation. And I thought about it today while listening to this interview. I'm like, damn, I wish we had a bigger panel to really dissect this more. But it's something that I definitely would want to jump into more because they hit a lot of other different like key points, psychology wise and stuff. Where I'm like, that makes sense. And even me, I've thought about those things before. So hearing it from other people, I'm like, wow. So this is something that we definitely have to unpack more in the future with guests. But with that being said, it's good to be back.
Is it? I'm already planning my next vacation.
It's good to be back. I'm out next month. It's good to be back. And speaking of fall, I'm looking, before we go, again, we still have like 2 more weeks of summer, but I can't say it enough. This summer was an amazing summer, the best summer in many years, I will say. But I've always been a fall guy. You know, this is my favorite season, especially the holidays. So I'm looking forward to fall. Like, what are you looking forward to fall? For me, real quick, I'm definitely gonna still be outside for fall before it starts getting cold. Especially with my work schedule this year is not as hectic, so I'm gonna make it a point to like sometimes still, not run home and stay home, not just do the gym, run home, but like, maybe go to the city after work and just still be outside a little more and explore a little more. That's what I'm looking forward to. And just the fall activities and stuff. We have little plans like picnics and coming up and Six Flags and bike riding. And I'm excited for fall. What about you?
I do want to do a cabin trip. That would be fun. For me with fall, I'm excited for the fashion.
Oh.
That's all I care about.
That's
I'm excited for fashion. I'm excited for football. I'm excited for like outdoorsy events where it's not too hot and it's not too cold. Yeah, I'm excited for fall. I like fall.
Well, y'all tune in and stay tuned in with us because we will definitely be bringing you everything and unpacking our fall season right along with you guys. Thank you guys so much once again for watching, listening, streaming. If you guys are streaming and listening to us, we appreciate you guys. We are back next week, same place, same time, with an all new episode. We are out. Wish me luck tomorrow, y'all.
Adios. Thank you for watching. Make sure to follow.